What's up, guys? It is Dan from FightWave. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Today I'm joined by somebody I'm incredibly excited to speak with. As always, you know that we bring the best guests on FightWave, and today's guest, in my opinion, one of the most exciting fighters coming out of Mexico right now. And regardless of result, I think that he's got a perfect opportunity to get back on track in one of the best fights I've seen booked all year. When you talk about fireworks, Manuel Torres versus Dober is nothing but fireworks. And I know that we're going to be seeing Manuel Torres 2.0 come Mexico City. I am privileged to be joined by El Loco himself, Mr. Manuel Torres. Manuel, thank you so much for your time, brother. Really appreciate the opportunity. How has everything been?
Pues la verdad estoy muy contento con UFC, con Hunter, con Chin Shelby, por la oportunidad de pelear con Dober, una persona que está muy cerca del top 15, que ha sido un peleador siempre élite, siempre ha estado entre el top 15, top 10 y ha peleado con los mejores, Dober, así que estoy muy emocionado de esta gran oportunidad y pues listo para pelear contra Dober.
You know, for me, I think that this fight is an incredible fight. And like you just mentioned, you just getting that name on your doorstep and getting the opportunity to fight a guy like Dober, a legend in our sport, amongst fight fans who really know the sport like that. When you talk about just getting this opportunity, you know, you speak a lot about like opportunities that come in this sport. When you got the notification from the UFC that you would be the co-main event at UFC Mexico City, how awesome was that to you? How excited did you get just to see that opportunity present itself in front of you?
Te digo que estoy encantado, súper emocionado. Es mi primera coestelar. Esperemos, va. No ha salido como la cartelera en sí, pero creo que soy la coestelar. Estoy súper emocionado y listo para demostrarle. La otra vez fue una falla en mí, en mi cabeza, pero ahorita van a ver al Loco Torres realmente listo.
Absolutely. And one thing that's just really stood out to be about you, Manuel, has just been how incredible your UFC run has been thus far. I know, obviously, last fight didn't go your way, but the stuff leading up to that was absolutely incredible. I mean, when you talk about the fights that you've had, one especially against Nicholas Mota, just an incredible knockout, one of the best knockouts I've seen live. You know, you are one of those guys that fight fans tune in for, you know, globally, and a guy that people will watch no matter the card, no matter the, you know, no matter the situation, they will always tune into a Loco Torres fight. So when you talk about the reception you've got amongst fans worldwide thus far, how happy are you with just the overall fan sentiment when it comes to watching your fights being this overwhelmingly positive?
La gente me apoya demasiado. Donde quiera que estoy aquí en Ciudad de México, la gente se emociona cuando me reconocen como peleador, cuando me ven como peleador, la gente se emociona mucho, me provoca demasiada energía o provoco porque como que se alteran y siempre me dicen, estoy listo para tu siguiente pelea, sé que vas a noquear, sé que vas a terminar, porque pues soy un peleador que siempre ha dado como ese espectáculo de finalizar a los oponentes. Y pues tú sabes que eso es lo que me gusta, a eso voy y peleo, realmente eso es lo que quiero, finalizar a mis oponentes y seguimos de pie, cada vez con más experiencia, más inteligentes, pero con el mismo objetivo, finalizar y no dejarle nada a los jueces.
One of the things I love about your story, especially Manuel, is that you've never been one to be deterred by loss. Obviously, when you've had losses in your career, you've always bounced back exceptionally. You look at the last fight you lost prior to Bahamondes. You went on an incredible 6-fight win streak after that. When you talk about strengthening up your mentality and just, you know, improving after losses, you see a lot of fighters, they get on a loss, they don't recover. You've shown throughout your career that you've always recovered really nicely from losses. How has kind of the mindset been in that regard and being able to stay so disciplined even when adversity hits you in combat sports?
Yo creo que cada vez que he perdido, van 3 pérdidas en mi carrera, realmente me han ayudado mucho a reflexionar bien que lo que estoy haciendo bien, lo que estoy haciendo mal. Trato de enfocarme en eso, trato de pensar más en lo que estoy haciendo mal. Trato de, Me he puesto a meditar, a pensar realmente en qué es lo que quiero y pues es estar aquí, es tratar de pelear, ser más inteligente. A lo mejor me conocen como el loco porque soy demasiado hiperactivo, demasiado reacciono muy rápido, no, a lo mejor no pensaba tanto y todo lo hacía como muy rápido, pero demasiada experiencia que me ha estado dando ahora estar en UFC, recibir golpes, haber perdido la última. Cada vez estoy mejorando más en mi persona y en mi peleador.
Even regardless of result, I feel like the impact that you've had throughout your career and just looking at, being that personification of being somebody that goes through that adversity is able to bounce back in incredible fashion. And there's a reason why the UFC, I feel like, has invested so heavily into Latin American combat sports and just mixed martial arts as a whole. When you talk about just even the opportunity to fight on the card like the Sphere, what was the emotions in that moment of just being able to fight on the Sphere card, and just how excited were you to be able to be in such kind of just like a grand situation, fighting in the Sphere and that whole spectacle of that crowd and whatnot?
Fue increíble todo el trabajo que hizo UFC para nosotros, para la proyección de los mexicanos, de latinoamericanos. Fue increíble, la verdad. Cada evento que voy de UFC, cada nueva pelea, se siente súper emocionante. Me siento Conor McGregor cada vez que llego ahí al UFC, me tratan muy bien. La verdad, es increíble el trabajo que hacen. Como hace un año también aquí en Ciudad de México, fue increíble. Este año yo creo va a ser mucho mejor. Así que es demasiada emoción, es muy emocionante.
Just the overall love that we've seen from the combat sports community towards Mexican mixed martial arts. You being hailed as one of those guys in this new generation of Mexican mixed martial artists. When you talk about that kind of badge of honor that you carry with you into every fight, how much has that meant to you? You talk about the emotions of such an incredible weekend and the emotions of just being that ambassador for the sport. How much has it meant for you when you talk about Mexican MMA? Manuel Torres is one of the first names that comes up.
Yo estoy muy orgulloso de representar a mi gente, de representar México. Somos pocos los que hemos llegado hasta aquí. Cada vez van a ser más porque el trabajo de UFC, haber puesto el UFC Apex aquí en Ciudad de México, ahora que estoy entrenando ahí, veo a los chavos súper emocionantes, veo a la gente de UFC trabajando increíble con ellos, les tienen todo, los tratan como a nosotros de UFC. O sea, estoy seguro que en un año o dos van a haber demasiados mexicanos como brasileños, como estadounidenses en UFC y saben que aquí hay potencial en México. Realmente aquí tenemos cojones, tenemos pantalones y tenemos con qué para sobresalir en este deporte y en muchos más. Así que estoy orgulloso de representar, de ser el segundo mexicano chihuahuense de entrar a UFC, que están mis compañeros Jair Rodríguez, Fer Padilla, Roberto Romero. Entonces, pues, orgulloso de mí y de todos ellos.
When you look at Mexican mixed martial arts right now, it's hard not to be happy when you have over, a dozen athletes on the roster representing Mexico. I feel like alone and just Latin America as a whole, it's incredible to see. And you being in one of the most stacked divisions right now, the lightweight division, one of the best divisions in the UFC right now, if not the best. When you look at this division right now, a win over Drew Dober would put you in a remarkable position to fight either for a ranking next or fight one of those guys on the outskirts of a ranking. How excited are you for the challenges that lay ahead at 155? And is there a dream fight if, coming off the win of the Drew Dober fight, should you get the result there, that you would be calling for next?
Pues he estado trabajando muy duro y me he estado metiendo mucho en mi cabeza. Voy a ir a esa pelea a ganar y después salir bien con el favor de Dios y regresar a entrenar lo más rápido que se pueda. Quiero ser un peleador más activo y me gustaría pelear con Dan Hooker. Sería una pelea súper emocionante, creo yo. Wow, todo top 15 en adelante para mí sería increíble.
I would personally pay top dollar to watch that Dan Hooker fight if it ever came to fruition. But on top of this, Manuel, obviously one of the most exciting guys in the UFC right now is yourself. And I want to thank you so much for the opportunity for the quick chat and just be able to pick your brain on some topics ahead of a highly anticipated fight at UFC Mexico City. I've got to ask you one more thing on just in terms of goals for the year. I always love to ask fighters this so when they look back on it, they can just kind of reflect. What are some goals you have for this year, either whether it's fighting or just life, and what's your message to the supporters of Loco Torres at home?
Igual, muchas gracias, hermano. Gracias por el tiempo también. Mis metas es este año pelear 3 veces, acercarme a los top 10 y un mensaje a la gente, que gracias por todo el apoyo. Sigan así, mi gente, que esto lo hacemos para ustedes, para que para salimos adelante por nosotros, pero ustedes son nuestra motivación, esos mensajes, ese apoyo, esa emoción que le ponen cada vez que peleamos nosotros, es lo que nos motiva a seguir adelante, así que gracias.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. I always love to say just the conversations we get to have with you guys is what makes this sport so worthwhile, and just being able to pick your brain, get some perspective, and incredibly just see your resolve. I think the biggest thing is seeing your resolve through fighting the adversities of your career and how you've bounced back in tremendous fashion. I can't wait to see what you do at UFC Mexico City against Drew Dober. I know I'll be tuning in. To the fans that are watching, do be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out Manuel on social media, and check out, more importantly, his fight against Drew Dober at UFC Mexico City in the co-main event, a fight you do not want to miss. I think it's going to make for fireworks. You're going to see precision and measured chaos. I think it's going to be a great fight. And thank you guys so much once again. It's been me, Dan, from FightWave. Have a great day, guys.